Today, I'm going to be sharing images with you that I've taken on my travels, and I'd like for you to look at them with Millennial Kingdom eyes. So, imagining the Millennial Kingdom through images of Jesus, the saints, and others. So, we're going to start with Padua, Italy, Scrovegni Chapel in Padua. I was here in 2019. It's quite beautiful art. This one I got from the internet, just to give you a sense of it. You can see it's quite small, so there can only be limited amounts of people going in. Then here is a saint and saintly people around him. I'm not sure if that is supposed to be Jesus, but notice the halos around them. You see these a lot in older cathedrals. We've got women and men there. Another wall of Jesus ascending, angels around him, saintly people below, again with the halos. This one was dealing with judgment. You can see the saints up here with their halos and those that are being judged. And you can see bigger being here, different sizes. We know that there were beings of different sizes on earth. Ragione Palace, this was also in Padua. See the amazing architecture on that place. It's quite a busy center. Inside, lots of images painted. Here's Jesus on the cross. Some more saints here with their halos, and even more here. Maybe with a sword. This place also had people in entertainment and the zodiac. So there was an array of different images on the walls. And if you go online, I'm sure you can see some of these images as well. This was outside somewhere in Padua, but I'm going to zoom in on these images up here. Look at this horse. Look at their hooves. It's like a claw. And the rest of their body is like the tail of a reptile. And then you've got these bigger faces. Who were these beings? Different images that I've seen from different channels have shown that there's hybrid creatures and hybrid humans in our past. And they were allowed to be in the kingdom as long as they followed godly principles. Okay, now we're going over to Greece. This is in Athens. There was this chapel in the middle of a busy square. And inside it, you have beautiful displays, saintly type people. Saw a number of these in Athens alone. Probably the same one, just a different direction. Another saintly person up here, down here. My understanding is during the Millennial Reign, a number of people would have to have a pilgrimage to where Jesus was reigning and show their allegiance and get further instruction, as well as saints were going out around the land, supervising and giving information. Now, how that is today, when we're in a place of more darkness, it's harder to hold that light. But if we have a master like Jesus, a lot more of that divine essence is filling the world. And it's more possible to live with higher awareness and devotion. I also visited Meteora in Greece. These are monasteries of the sky. And you see it here in the background. There were about 8 to 10 of these monasteries on these peaks. And there are other places throughout the world for this. Ethiopia is one other place that I know of. And I went in one that wasn't so high, but it was a lot of stairs we had to go up. I took this picture because this was a photo. I vaguely remember that this was from the 50s, where there were still monks living there. There aren't many now. There is a convent of about a dozen nuns, but I went in 2019. I don't know if that's still the case. Another saintly person that was in this kind of a monastery. And look at the wood carvings here. This was also beautiful. First time I saw this, I wondered if this was John. I still would think, yeah, could that be John? Apostle John, Jesus on the cross. The colors on that are beautiful. And here's some iconography. I'm not quite sure what those are, but I've seen a lot of these in various kinds of cathedrals. Ornate design. Could be Mother Mary or some other saintly being with her child. She's got the halo around her as well as this child as well. Somebody from that region, maybe. Even the frame is quite impressive. Here we are going to, I think, Poland. Amazing sculptures. That they could do this kind of artistic creation. You have to be in a state of awareness that is just so divine to be able to create these things. Yeah, this was actually in Krakow, Poland, a room full of beautiful images on the ceiling and iconography along the walls. And here at the end of it, you can see it's some kind of a sun with all of the rays. Now, is that a positive thing or more idol worship of the sun? Could that have been put in later? Just questions to think about. Because it isn't uncommon to see such beauty and then they will cover something with something else to kind of detract from its original purpose. Could be. This is, I believe it's back in Italy somewhere. Maybe that was Padua again. It's connecting more to some amazing statues and the detail around the people in these statues. Okay, this is going to be a different thing from religious. This was in the Czech Republic. It was somebody's home, and the wood on this staircase was amazing. And I've been in about a handful of other places in different countries with amazing staircases or cathedrals with amazing mm, pulpits. And yeah, so that was an art form that is all over. But this is also what's so interesting to see these portraits here. I remember we were going with a tour and they were talking about these noble peoples that was their house and that passed down from one family member to another. And when I look at this now, I'm just like, yeah, this was rewritten. The story of nobility in these amazing buildings is just so laughable now. They rewrite it and they repurpose some of these buildings to make us forget. Okay, we're nearing the end of this presentation, and this picture was really fascinating to me. And I don't remember exactly where. I'm guessing I took this picture in Italy somewhere. But you can see all the way up in here people. And I don't know if these people are lining up to show reverence to this woman and her child during the Millennial Reign. That wouldn't have been Jesus, but maybe she was some respected leader um, of the Millennial Kingdom. And this is a saintly child, and people are coming to show their reverence. We've got a very short man here. Somebody's sitting here. Um, a man of color, so they had some positions of authority as well and money. I mean, there's a lot of evidence of that in our history that more channels are uncovering, especially in Africa. And actually in Poland, I remember seeing a number of portraits of Mother Mary and Jesus, dark-skinned, as well as nobility. And then you have this man. He's maybe he's just got some physical deformity, maybe. So that's an interesting picture. Then this one was I was drawn to this picture. You see a number of people who are, they seem pious type of people, but they're all getting in a boat and going somewhere. Now, with Millennial Kingdom eyes, I'm looking at this, well, was this near the end? And people were being told, from what I've read in some of these hagiographies, they knew when the Millennial Reign was coming to an end. And a lot of places went to where Jesus was reigning in the camp of the saints. So maybe these people were getting in the boat to go. I also heard accounts that they went through airships and would get there. So that's kind of fascinating to think about that. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.